All right, it is 1 o'clock, folks. You know what that means. It means it's time for our provider meeting. This is Liliana Howard. I am your professional development manager and your provider meeting DJ. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. For those of you who just joined us, it's very important that you download the handouts that are available. They are the notes for the provider meeting, but they also pertain to the School Readiness Plus information that will be shared by Ms. Latricia Sims later. We also have a guest speaker who is with us, Ms. Margarita Santana from Santoro Education Life Skills Foundation, and she's going to be talking to us about the Hands Up program. And I'm going to go ahead and kickstart this meeting and get her PowerPoint pulled up for you guys. There's a lot of providers here I know who might be excited to be able to share this with their parents, because this is a problem I think a lot of you will be able to relate to. So let me find Miss Margarita. Can you tell I love her name? Can you say something, Miss Margarita?
Yes, hello. Thank you so much for having me today.
All right, go for it.
Okay, thank you. And I'm very excited to be here today and looking forward to talking to many of you. I work for the Santoro Education Life Skills Foundation, and we are excited to roll out the Hand Up Tuition Assistance Program. This is a program dedicated to make early learning education, quality early learning education, accessible to families that don't receive any government assistance to send their kids to a quality early learning center. And we all know that that can be expensive and it can be a burden for families, and that not all of the programs that are offered include everyone. So we're hoping to at least help in some way those families that do not qualify for any other type of assistance. So the Hand Up Tuition Assistance Program provides tuition support to quality early learning providers with a class score of 4.5 or higher, and that's aiding any family that is not receiving any other type of assistance. And the support that the Hand Up Tuition Assistance Program will be is $160 per month per qualifying child. So it could be more than one child in a family. Each child receives $160 towards their tuition a month. And so the foundation's mission is that we're dedicated to helping individuals by promoting essential life skills in education and in life. And we know it's so important to start it from the very beginning. So starting with early childhood and continuing through adulthood. We're focused on advocating for quality early learning and educating on essential life skills, which is pretty much anything that has to do with emotional intelligence, so important. And then our purpose is that we believe that every child has a right to quality early learning education. So we want to make sure that we're able to make that accessible for families. And we want to financially and emotionally support all the hardworking families that are trying to make this happen for their children. The application process has been made as simple as we possibly could. The way that we're going to do this is that we will partner with providers in signing a letter of understanding that the providers will send to us an invoice including each child that has been qualified, so that we may send the payment directly to the providers. However, the qualification and the application process will come from the parents, and we will have a direct connection to the parents through that. So we will let provider know when one of their students has been qualified for our program or not. And so the application process is, we're hoping that the providers are able to give our information to those families that need it, and then the family will make contact with us, and from there we'll take it with giving them an application to fill out. So if you have any questions about the Hand Up Tuition Assistance Program, please email me at margarita@santorofoundation.org. And you're also able to visit our website, selfnow.org, at any time. The website is included in our logo up top if you want to take a look at it. And so if you would like to visit there, you can maybe answer any questions or contact me anytime. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you to all the ladies and gentlemen at the Early Learning Coalition of Marion County.
You are so welcome. Thank you so much, Ms. Margarita, for sharing that with us. And in the handouts, like I said, we do have the flyers for the program and the tuition assistance application for the parents, so that if you want to share it with your parents, you can feel free to do so. And there's procedures. Everything you need to know is all right here in this packet.
Hey, Lily, can you hear me? This is Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hi, everybody. It's Elizabeth. I just wanted to reiterate what Margarita was sharing. So this is an opportunity. You know, you all have those families that struggle to pay their tuition every week. They might not, and right now we do have a wait list for services. We're slowly trying to pull people off as we have the funding for it. However, this is an opportunity to get assistance for those parents that are right in the middle. They don't quite qualify for services. But they're struggling just like everybody else. You know, they're really trying. So this is a way to support those families and support yourself as well, because it's another way to bring in a little more income for those children that you're serving.
Okay.
Anybody have any questions?
Don't see any questions.
Okay. I would like to talk a little bit about, feel free to send your questions in though, everybody, if you have them, and we'll make sure that Margarita gets them, and we're working very closely with her to kind of assist kicking this off. So it's another opportunity. It's separate from the school readiness or VPK programs. It's something brand new for our community, and hopefully we'll find some families that would appreciate that little bit of assistance that comes every month so that they can, you know, make their tuition. On the agenda, the next thing on there is the IRS Child Care Credit. So I would like to talk to you a little bit about something that I learned about 2 weeks ago, and it is a credit that is available only for 3 years, and it's something that was approved in the budget for the state of Florida. It is an opportunity, and I don't know, Lily, if I can change to make me a presenter and show my screen really quickly, or
I can
I
make
don't
that
know.
happen.
Okay. I just want to
give me a
show
minute.
you all where you can get more information on this. I'm sorry, say that one more time.
I'm just trying to find you right now. I'll find you and I'll make it happen.
Oh,
Just need a minute.
I can do it too myself if you maybe.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I'm gonna steal it from you. All right, here we go, guys. Let's see here. Bear with me for just a second. Show my screen. I just am afraid I'm going to show you my email screen.
Dolly Parton looks gorgeous.
Okay, let me see if this one helps better. Now, can you see the Department of Revenue?
Yes.
Okay, so if you all go to floridarevenue.com, that's the Department of Revenue for the state of Florida. I will tell you, I have not spent a lot of time on this website, but when I did, I was like, what? This is all here. There's so much information. So excuse me, part of this, if you see what the first thing is, as soon as I've typed in the keyword childcare, what popped up is Florida Gold Seal childcare facilities. This stuff is kept on the Florida Department of Revenue website. There's childcare tax credit programs and other things that you can research while you're on here. But one of the things I wanted to show you was this particular one right here. It's brand new. It is an application process if you want to apply for it, but let me give you just a real brief, very, very brief overview of what it is. So when you click that, this is the page that will pop up. Okay. This is a brand new credit for companies that are paying for their employees' childcare. Okay. So the state is trying to incentivize businesses to assist in employee retention by paying for childcare, because we know how important our industry is. Businesses don't often see the importance of their staff members having reliable and quality childcare services so that their staff can come to work and not worry about what's happening with their child or where is their child. There is a ton of research out there about why we are such a high need in industry, as far as why businesses rely upon the early learning industry. So here, somebody in Tallahassee was listening, so they put in a childcare tax credit program, and it will only be in play for the next 3 years. But basically, it will give corporations a break on the tax liability that they owe back to the state at the end of the year. There's an application that you have to fill out. And I believe, so if you all as a business, if you're a for-profit business and you are paying for any of your staff's childcare services, which I would assume some of you are, you might even be giving what's called a discount, where they're not paying anything for their childcare services, so you're kind of giving it to them in kind. This is a way for you to get a little more of a break on your taxes. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot more time here. I just wanted to introduce this to you and see if anybody has any questions. I don't know a lot to be able to answer a lot of questions, but I thought this would be very important, because one of my goals is to share this with some big businesses, and maybe we can start to expand on partnerships with the private businesses and childcare providers that are supported directly from businesses. So an example I can give you, and this is not in existence, but if I can get to a decision maker at Lockheed Martin, let's say, and talk about the importance of childcare and the importance of having reliable services for their staff so that they can come to work while their child is safe and being educated in one of our childcare facilities or homes, then Lockheed Martin might decide to enter into a partnership with one of you all and start to, directly work with you and pay for childcare services for their staff. So it could turn into a really great partnership within our community if we take advantage of it. So let me stop and see if there's any questions. I don't see any in the question box. What I would tell you is, if you're interested in this, if any of this piqued your curiosity, go check out the Florida Department of Revenue and just type in their search box, childcare, and it'll pop up. It's like the second or third thing that pops up. So let's see, who's next after this? Lily, should I just keep going?
Well,
Do we have any partner updates?
I'm checking to see if I have any hands raised.
Okay.
Just double checking, making sure we didn't. If you are a partner and you have an update, please raise your hand if you haven't already. And I don't see any hands raised. So you feel free to go forth and be blessed.
Okay. I don't have anything further for the screen, so I don't know, though, if you want to take over the presentation so you can have your screen back.
Oh, yeah, I like taking over.
Just keep talking. So next on your agenda is the hurricane support. We know that many of you were impacted by Hurricane Milton as far as the especially power outages. We also experienced that here with many of our staff, some that were without power for almost, a full week. That being said, we sent out a survey to ask for more information. I haven't been able to review the results of that, but if you filled out that survey and gave some information about being like a hardship that you experienced because of Hurricane Milton, we will end up connecting with you individually to find out what we can do to help, if there is anything out there any supports, FEMA or anything else that we can find to support you. So if you did respond to that email, I believe it went out last week. If you haven't responded to that survey yet, please go ahead and respond unless you didn't have any impacts, which luckily we were very blessed and we didn't have a lot of long-term impact here in our area, especially compared to some other places where there are our counterparts in Sarasota and Pinellas and other places like that, that there's still people living in tents. They're living in hotels. They don't have workplaces, their homes. So my cousin's entire building in St. Petersburg had a crane crash into it. So they are displaced from working at this point still. So you probably saw that one on the news, actually. So we just want to make sure that everybody is getting the help that they need, and please fill out that survey if you haven't yet and feel like you need to.
Elizabeth,
that-
can you,
Yes.
sorry to interrupt, but can you stop sharing and then
Sure.
maybe it'll let me take back the,
Stop
please.
showing screen.
And then it's
I'm going to see if I can find you, Lily, and give it back to you.
hold on, I think I might got it.
Okay.
I think I finally got it. I just had to get you to
Okay.
stop sharing. Thank you so
There you
much.
go.
Sorry.
We're trying something new, everybody. Thank you for your patience. So the other piece of good news, excellent news that I have is we have hired a brand new Help Me Grow Care coordinator. Her name is Jackie St. Jacques, and she is amazing. She has hit the ground running with me. She started just last Monday, not yesterday, but yesterday we celebrated her first week. So Help Me Grow is coming back up. So if you have parents that have been waiting to hear from me, I've kind of been the one running it with the parents, trying to also train our EC program director, Michelle Grant Harris, and now training Jackie. So if you get a phone call from her or somehow you hear back from her regarding a Help Me Grow referral, that's why she is our new care coordinator, and we're so excited, and I feel so blessed to have her on board. So don't see any questions. You guys are a quiet group today. All right, so next up is Latricia Sims, and she is going to talk to you about our School Readiness Plus program.
And Trish, make sure she's unmuted. Tindy, you should be able to
Yes.
talk, Trish.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
There you
ma'am.
are.
Good afternoon, everyone. On August 23rd, the State Board of Education approved Rule 6M-9.200 regarding the State Child Care Subsidy Program, which is known as the School Readiness Plus program. The new program became effective September 24th. And with the School Readiness Plus program, this is for families who are no longer eligible for the School Readiness program because they have exceeded the 85% state median income. They're over income for the School Readiness program, and they're going to be eligible for an alternative source. The School Readiness Plus program will continue to assist those families with the cost of childcare after they're no longer eligible for the School Readiness program. And the whole intent of the program is to ensure that the school readiness families are economically self-sufficient and that they can take on the full cost of childcare when they are no longer eligible for SR services. It's also going to help support those families that have accepted a promotion from work or an increase in pay without them being in fear of losing their entire childcare subsidy because they're trying to better themselves. So on the screen is the School Readiness Plus frequently asked questions, which was provided from DEL, the Division of Early Learning. It will be made available to you and will answer any questions for you about the program. It will tell you the program purpose, the family's eligibility criteria and documentation that they will have to provide to the coalition to receive services. It's also going to provide you with information about the coalition's responsibilities to the SR Plus families. These families, they will have a 12-month authorization period, just as they did with the school readiness program. And it's also going to provide information about the provider reimbursement for families, which will be the same as the reimbursement rates for the SR program. It's also going to, if you are entitled to registration fees or any other differential rate, you will be entitled to that for those families that are receiving the SR Plus. It will also give you information about your responsibilities. The same provisions that you adhere to for the school readiness provider contract will be the same. There's not going to be a separate contract. There is going to be a new billing group assigned to these families participating in the SR Plus program. You will see BGSRPLS, which is School Readiness Plus, for any family that is enrolled. Are there any questions so far?
Nope, it's rather quiet.
Okay. A copy of the new sliding fee schedule for the SR Plus is also on the screen. So the parent copays were established by the Division of Early Learning, and they have been assigned to all 30 coalitions as well as the RCMAs. A copy of the new sliding fee scale for the SR Plus program and a revised school readiness sliding fee scale will be made available to you as well. So if you have a copy of a sliding fee scale that has an effective date of July 1st, please disregard that scale. The new scale that was released, it has the same parent copays on it. The only thing that has changed is the effective date, which Lily has highlighted, that has September 24th to align with the release of the SR Plus sliding fee scale. So you as providers, how can you help these parents? When you have a family that is receiving school readiness and it's time for them to recertify or redetermine their child care services, sometimes they will tell us they're not going to recertify because they know that they're over income, because that's what the coalition has told them in the past. We're going to ask that you encourage those families to go ahead and redetermine anyway. They have to redetermine by their eligibility end date. And if they're eligible for the School Readiness Plus program, then you will receive a call from the coalition. Keep in mind, these are two separate programs. The School Readiness program is parents, they have to apply for the waiting list. When they're applying for child care services, they do have to apply for the waiting list. The SR Plus program is for the families who are already receiving services, so they cannot apply for the SR Plus program. These are families that are already receiving services and they are over income for the school readiness program. It is going to be beneficial where you would normally have a family of two. Once that family makes $56,000 for the program, they're no longer eligible for services. We will now be able to provide services to those families for them to make up to $66,000. So are there any questions?
Oh, I got them coming in now, Trish.
Okay.
Okay. Are families eligible that already lost their care?
No, the state DEL will not allow us to go back retro.
Okay, and then I have, what if you have a parent, I'm sorry, this one's a little hard to read. What if you have a parent that was receiving services but was, oh, she just answered it. Okay, thank God, because I was having trouble reading that one. I think, I'm not sure what was going on, but it's all good. It's all good.
Okay.
It's close to Halloween. Maybe we had a Halloween help on there. I don't know. All right, and I'm checking to see if there's any other questions. Doesn't look like it. If they do have questions, who should they ask?
They can contact me. My extension is 214.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and let's see what else we got on our agenda. All right, we have the wonderful Miss Janet Honor next.
Okay, I'm unmuted. Hello, everyone. We're going to discuss progress monitoring again. With progress monitoring, I want you guys to remember that as it has ended for PM1, please be sure that you are testing any new students that come into your program. Because that is a requirement. If that student is if you have a student that is no longer enrolled in your program, please be sure that you get with the Family Services Department to make sure that that child is withdrawn properly. Okay. Students that are not tested will lead to a provider receiving a non-compliance, and you will still have to test that child anyway. The other thing I want to discuss with you guys is to remember to mark your children in the proper status if they do not participate. So if they have an IEP or 504, that is going to be the status of assessment inappropriate. If they fail the assessment 3 times, they have 3 attempts, that's going to be a failed practice. If they're not present at all during the 30 days for that PM window, that's when you're going to mark that child as not present during testing window. And any non-English speakers. With the non-English speakers, please be sure that you are at least trying and attempting to give these students the test, please. Then if they fail it the 3 times and they do not speak English, that's when you can use that status. What I'm finding is many providers are just not marking them at all in the non-participation status, and we're having to go back and remind you to do that. Okay.
I have a question.
Okay, I have an answer.
The question is, even if they were registered in another VPK program?
If they were registered in another VPK program, let me get more guidance on that because I think that data is now transferring over to you. But I will get more guidance and get back with you. What provider is that, Lily?
I'll let you know.
Okay, thank you. And you can, I want to encourage you guys to pull the STAR test activity report. Pull your reports so that you can see what students have been tested, which ones have not, and which ones are marked correctly. If you are the director and you're not testing the students, you should at least have admin access to run these reports to follow up with your teachers to make sure that you have access to seeing these reports that these kids are tested. Okay. The next thing I want to remind you guys of, when you are testing the students, please be sure that you are hovering over the initials of each student's names. Sometimes students have similar names, and you don't want to test the wrong child. That's going to create a small fire for you. That's going to create a small fire for you, and then it's going to be a mix-up. So if you hover over that child's name, you'll be able to see the child's full name, okay? And you should be able to see their ID to make sure that you are testing the proper child, okay? All right, any more questions in regards to Renaissance?
I have another provider with the same question, and I'm letting her know that you'll follow up with her as soon as you have the answer.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I want to talk to you guys about an event that ELC is planning for our providers. It's called the Touch a Truck Preschool Expo. Right now, the Early Learning Coalition is organizing this event to support our VPK providers in their recruitment efforts of children and families. The event is going to occur either late January or early February. We'll keep you all posted on the date and the location of this event. What we want to know is if this is something you would like to participate in. Um, as as a provider, sorry, that's my alarm. Sorry. As a provider, it is important that you guys, um, participate. We want to know if you would like to create an informative booth to showcase your child care program. And that would be greatly appreciated to us. If you would like to participate, please send us an email to quality@elc-marion.org to let us know, and we'll give you more information as planning comes along. Any questions on that, Lily?
No questions as of yet, but I just want to reiterate with y'all. I've heard a lot of providers, talk about they have trouble with enrollments. This is an opportunity for you to get yourself out there and reach people that you may normally not reach. And it's going to be an incredible opportunity. And I hope you guys take advantage of it and let us know that you're interested.
Yes, yes. Okay. Since there are no questions, I'm going to move on really quickly. I just want to remind you guys about the closures. Please be sure that you're entering in your temporary closures on time. When you guys fail to do that and you wait until, you know, after your attendance has been submitted, that causes a big issue for our reimbursement team. A lot of times they have to reject your attendance for you to enter in your closure on time. Now what's happening is for our SR and VPK providers, when your VPK attendance has been rejected, it will not allow you to enter in a temporary closure if your SR attendance has already been submitted and processed to you. So you will not be able to enter in that closure or receive a reimbursable day because your SR attendance has already been processed for you. So please be sure that you're entering in your temporary closures on time. Okay. Any questions?
No questions, but I did get some interest on the expo.
Okay, just keep me posted on that. The last thing I just want to tell you guys is the cost of care survey. We know that there are some issues going on there. We know that some providers, the cost of care survey is popping up. For some providers, it's not showing up at all. We're getting guidance from DEL on what's going on with the cost of care survey. In the meantime, if the survey is available for you, we kindly ask that you take the time to complete this survey if it is popping up for you, because what's happening is as the survey pops up, it will not allow you to move on your provider profile, and that will prevent you from submitting your profile. It'll be an incomplete status and maybe even prevent you from moving on to submit your VPK or SR attendance. So for those providers who do not see the cost of care survey, we're getting guidance from DEL on that. For our providers who have the survey popping up for you, please take the time to complete it, okay? And that is it for me.
Okay. All right.
Oh, Mary's tips, I'm sorry. So we have a lot going on in this agenda today, this meeting today. I just want to remind you guys to please review Mary's handout for Mary's tips. She has great tips in there about the quality performance and the staff rosters. When you are submitting your SR attendance, please take the time to submit your QPS roster, okay? And now that's officially it for me. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you. All right. Okay, so we have next on our list is Melissa Masonette. And Melissa, can you, let's see if I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I just wanted to keep reminding all the providers that we are working in all the progress in all the assessments, all the class observations. I saw that Mary in her tips is talking about the monthly roster. Please, all the providers, make sure to submit your monthly roster. But if you are in pending composite score, that means that you are getting ready to get your observation completed. Please, please do not submit your roster while you are in pending composite score, because that will, and don't make changes neither, because when you make any changes in a teacher or in a classroom, that will change everything in the system that select the classrooms that needs to be observed. So the same way with VPK, if you are in your window and you are being told when your 2 weeks windows is coming, please do not make changes in your classroom, in your teachers, in anything. Just keep it as is. Then the other thing that I wanted to remind everybody is don't make changes neither in QPS, neither in VPK app. And so far everybody's doing pretty well. Don't forget that if your window is open already, you won't be able to select your 3 blackout dates, because if when I send your email of 2 weeks window, that means that I give you enough time, because I always send them a month ahead. If the window opens, let's say that your window starts today and you send me an email today telling me that you want to pick the 3 days, you are scheduled already. So it's going to be a little complicated, especially when we need to complete so many observations. So I'm asking you kindly that to please, as soon as you receive that email, talk to your teachers and get everything set to send those 3 blackout dates, okay? Thank you, and I'm not going to take more of your time.
It's all good. I think we're doing pretty well. Thank you, Melissa. All right, and then I just need to see, Michaela, I said you're self-muted. Next, we have Miss Michaela Powell, the Director of Compliance for Compliance Corner.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I hear you.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm just going to go over a few things. The Early Learning Coalition will have their 24-25 accountability monitor, which will begin in May of 2025. Here are a few monitoring trends from across the state. For VPK, please make sure you have documented evidence that the VPK director, lead, substitute, and secondary instructor for each class you offer has a current level 2 background screening clearance for the entire classroom period. The information in the VPK provider file needs to match the information in DEL's statewide information system. And you must have a completed, signed, and dated certificate of eligibility for each child. So that's for VPK, some of the monitoring trends across the state. So just make sure when you're submitting the information that everything is up to date. When we ask for additional information, just be aware that we are trying to make sure that everything is complete and accurate across the board for when we receive our monitor. Okay, for SR and VPK attendance, make sure you to document the child's daily attendance on a paper sign-in, sign-out form or electronic attendance tracking system according to the rule. Make sure that the certified attendance record matches the parent sign-in and sign-out sheets. And then the provider must maintain and complete the VPK long and short forms according to rule. So when the attendance monitors, when we're asking you for additional information, we just need that documentation to, if you've had any issues or anything, we need additional documentation because DEL does come back and look for things to match the attendance record to match the sign-in, sign-out sheets daily. Any questions?
I'm looking and I don't see any questions. but if anybody does have any questions, please feel free to reach out to Michaela.
Yes, you can reach me. My extension is 259.
Okay. And I don't see any questions, Miss Michaela. All right. Does anybody have any questions about anything we've discussed today? No? All right. Well, I just want to give a shout out and say thank you to those VPK providers who did their due diligence and showed up for and attended the Crossroads training with Anna Gonzalez, our VPK regional facilitator. Thank you so much for doing that. I know that the information that you learn from there is going to go a long way. I would just want to share with y'all that Anna was very impressed with our child care providers, and she really enjoyed her time in that training, and loved the information that you guys went over together, and loved all the wonderful questions, and she really had a lot of good things to say about our county. So thank you for representing. Thank you for attending. And yes, she was awesome. Yes, she is awesome. And it was a great training, so thank you. And one of the other trainings that we had that day is It's Okay to Play in VPK, Family Engagement. We will be wrapping that cohort up and doing part 2. And then we'll be scheduling more in the future. We did have to reschedule some trainings that were already in progress due to the storm. If you or your staff were one of those that signed up for family engagement, the Discovery Source training for nurturing, or if you've signed up for any of the trainings that were scheduled in October and you have any questions about them being rescheduled, please feel free to reach out to us at training@elc-marion.org. All right, I know it's just going to kill you guys if we give you back time today. I think this is a record. I think this is the earliest we've ever finished a provider meeting. But if there's no further questions, y'all take care. And